Welcome to the News9 Plus Show on the world's first news and current affairs OTT platform, News9 Plus. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi has played the caste census card and even questioned the Prime Minister's caste credentials. The BJP was quick to hit back. But how will this caste calculus play up just weeks before the 2024 general elections? Joining me to discuss this today are Shikha Mukerjee, Geeta Bhatt, Manasvi Thapar and my colleague Kartikeya Sharma in the studio here at News9. Welcome to the News9 Plus Show. Kartikeya, what do you make of these statements today? Rahul Gandhi raising the caste card again?
See, there are a couple of things. One, despite the fact that the Prime Minister says that, he belongs to the OBC community, or the fact that the Prime Minister says that, there is a difference between Namdar and Kam. The Prime Minister is beyond caste right now. It doesn't matter Modi comes from which caste. I think he has transcended the caste thing.
Right.
It's a chip on his shoulder, but he has become bigger than that. Second is the issue of can Congress survive on such sectional politics by saying that, well, the cap on the 50% quota will be done away. Jiski jitni hissedari, uski utni bhagedari. Does it mean that the Congress has given up on upper caste? The third part of this conversation is, do you think a negative campaign will work for the Congress party? Because if you look into the election history of India, barring 2004 where India Shining failed, positive campaigns have worked, like in 57, 71, when Indra Hatao campaign was launched by George Fernandez, Dandavate and C. Rajagopalachari agreed, Pilu Modi was upset, he left. Indra turned it around, said, वो कहते हैं गरीबी हटाओ मैं कहती हूँ वो कहते हैं इंदिरा हटाओ मैं कहती हूँ गरीबी हटाओ.
Two very big negative campaigns that worked. 77 Indra Hatao, and they
77 Indra Hatao campaign worked because there was an excess.
Emergency.
Indra Hatao campaign Indra Hatao campaign was in 71. 77 was a campaign to restore democracy. If you look at the campaign in 2014, na khaunga na khane dunga, it was a positive campaign. 2019, Chaukidar Chor Hai was a negative campaign.
But 89 also.
89 was a negative campain, but there was positivity about VP Singh. Raja nahi fakir hai, desh ki takdeer hai. So my or Jai Jawan Jai Kisan by Shastri. So my limited point here is that I fail to understand as to why Rahul Gandhi is launching a very sectional campaign. This is reminiscent of socialist and the lefts. Congress or the different lefts in the so-called left of center parties. So why is Congress doing that? One is that Rahul believes that there is no option but this. Hard secularism married to the leftist politics around caste.
Shikha on this. Shikha, the point that Kartikeya made, the fact that the Congress is now literally, weeks before the 2024 elections is waging a negative campaign against the government. They've raised caste, they've promised to increase the caste quota, and of course this north-south divide
India
that's
versus North
Yes,
India.
Absolutely. That's another aspect that we are being denied our thing. How do you think this is going to play out, this negative campaign that the Congress has gone on?
See, I think this is something that I've said before, and I've actually written about it elsewhere, which is that the Congress campaign lacks a coherent narrative. And this today you're talking about caste. Yesterday you were talking about something else. There is no coherent narrative. And it's absolute. Kartikeya is absolutely right that without a charter of what the Congress is going to do and how it is going to do it. You see, it's very well to say Garibi Hatao. Vikshit Bharat is also a slogan. But somehow or the other, this Vikshit Bharat and other such slogans that have been, that we have heard over the last 10 years, does not really require a lot of content. Whereas the Congress has to come up with a content. And that content has to have certain, how would I put it, certain milestones. This is what we are going to do, this is how we are going to do it, and this is what we are expecting to achieve. That would in fact work, it is, let me put it to you this way, it is a pity that the Narendra Modi government has not put out a report card of its own performance at this point in time. Right. That white paper that Nirmala Sitharaman has released today is, it's a mishmash of things. It really says very little about the last 10 years, the point at which they started and the point where the economy has reached today. And with all the controversy that is going on about the V-shaped recovery curve and the K-shaped recovery curve, the unemployment, the numbers of unemployment, what exactly is happening to consumer spending? What exactly is happening to manufacturing?
Employment.
In fact, how many Indians are there? We have a lot of problems, and the Congress failure to come up with a narrative, raise questions, and say that this is what is going to happen because this is what has not happened.
Very important point there, Shikha. The fact that the Congress has been unable to craft a narrative even now, and which explains this rearguard action that they've undertaken. But I want to bring in Manasvi Thapar on this. Manasvi, you're a lawyer. How does the Congress hope to breach the 50% reservation mark that Rahul Gandhi has claimed he will if he's voted to power?
See, what Rahul Gandhi's statement is, I think it's more of a political statement than a real groundwork statement which has not been done. I think there's something which is missing in the Congress as of now. This does not look like for me a 2024 election pitch. On the contrary, if you look at what the Prime Minister is pitching, he's talking about the development of India, how India as a Viksit Bharat is going to be, and the counter narrative has to be as per that standards. So what is the counter narrative of the opposition of this present batch of democracy? That is, you have a 50% consensus on census, so that I don't think that the youth of today or the voters of today would actually match on that front. While India is moving forward, where is that alternative parallel pitch for forward bloc for India? That is something which is missing.
There's clearly no alternate pitch, and as Kartikeya mentioned, the fact, and Shikha did as well, the fact that they have no narrative, which is why they're going in for all these things of 50%, and which is likely to be challenged in court. Kartikeya, this 50% thing, as it has in several other states where they've promised to breach that 50% thing in Maharashtra, for instance.
Legal issues can be challenged. When you were having a conversation, just reminded me that how do people rise up to challenge? Golwalkar in 50s organized the cow campaign.
Right.
What did Congress do? It was a party with charkha, and that campaign was around cow protection. By late 60s, the campaign, and subsequently when Indira Gandhi split the Congress party again, that symbol was seized, became a party of Gai Bachra.
Yes.
So she entirely took over that symbol, absorbed it. And again the Jansangh was flummoxed, she has absorbed the basic thing.
Right.
So when we talk about slogans, we must remember that it is not about yourself, it is about a wider constituency. When India Shining campaign was launched by Advani, there were two people alone with a dongle in 109 room of South Avenue, Jairam Ramesh and Salman Khurshid, with piles of paper and nothing else and no computer, pre-social media days. And they coined a word called Congress ka haath, Aam Aadmi ke saath.
Yes.
Now, Aam Aadmi was a very inclusive campaign, and they won on an inclusive campaign. My understanding is somehow I think Congress has lost this appetite for something which worked for them. People can make fun of Mohabbat ki Dukaan, but secularism or communal harmony is a good theme. Nehru fought his 52 election on communal harmony.
Right.
So I think I agree with the first panelist. You can't be seen saying one thing on Tuesday, second thing on Wednesday, and a third thing on Thursday.
Yes.
There has to be a consistency of message.
Right.
It has to be politics of hope, something which Barack Obama did.
Right.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
When he said,
that was a constant as a campaign
yes,
theme,
we can.
Right through.
And the word, it's his word, audacity of hope.
Audacity of hope.
Audacity of hope. So I think campaign should inspire campaigns are about, there's a word in Hindi which is very beautiful called aage ke samay ki kalpana, you know.
Right. So, absolutely. Geeta, you've been listening very patiently. The point that Kartikeya makes about there not being a consistent theme in the Congress's campaign. They say one thing on Monday, they add something else to it on Tuesday, Wednesday it's something else, Thursday it's this thing, and weekend they take off.
So reminiscent of socialists of 70s.
Yeah.
Streaming on News9 Plus. News is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.